fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.
Watch the line jump.
How did I get onto the trout? Well, first thing I had to do was find them.
Man. Down the food. Get on the pop. Oh, there we go. Jumper. That's a nice one. First one in the morning on baby bluegill. Oh, there we go. Skilled release. That one I had to watch the line. Just saw the line go tight. There you go. That pink smoke. Football. There you go, that pink smoke. Outstanding. Hell yeah, and it came right out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
No, that's fine. There, I got it. There we go.
Awesome.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. No?
No, he's on there.
He's still here, huh?
Yeah, he's just coming to you.
Well, I appreciate the help.
Nice.
Holy interruptions.
All right, ladies and gents, I want to take a quick break from the action to show you what's going on out there. As always, I'll start with the rods and reels I'm using out there. The rod I'm using out there on this day, this is a 7'6" ultralight spinning rod with a 1000 series reel. This is a Katana, the flagship rod for Katana rods. It's a ultralight rod, and it's considered a medium fast action. And medium action rods have a really soft tip, and fast action rods have a really stiff tip. So this one has a stiff backbone, but a really soft tip. So it's really good for throwing light baits, such as the mini jigs I'm using. I paired it with a Shimano Vanquish 1000 SSP. And for line, I have Sinister Strand premium fiber braid in 4-pound. I run that up to a double uni connection knot. And I use a leader of 5-pound Runkel Power fluorocarbon. Now let's go to the bench, and I'll show you the baits and how I rig them up. All right, guys, for the baits that we're working out there, we'll start with the mini jigs I was using. This one's Pink Smoke from Golden State Fishing. Real excellent color. Really, ever since I got it, I've been killing it everywhere I go, whether it's the Sierras or down here. The fish just love this one. And another one, it's a little bit older, is Bluegill, and it's almost the same story. This one works real great in the Sierras or down here in our murkier water, but another absolutely killer bait. Both very natural looking too. So if you guys are wondering about what to fish in the Sierras, these two are definitely a good starting point for sure. I'll show you what Tamara was catching a lot on was this mini Spartan minnow and rainbow trout. This little dude, and she was absolutely on fire with this one, using a 30-second ball head right here and underneath a bobber. Now the bobber she was using was a little bit different. Like these are the weighted and rattle bobbers that I normally use with the mini jig, but what she was doing is using what's called a fly fishing indicator, but essentially it's a bobber, but there's no weight to it. This is just light foam, and it has a little screw top on it, which is actually pretty cool. You just put your line in this slot and then screw down on top of it, and it holds this indicator right in place. But the disadvantage between this and these weighted bobbers is there's no weight to this. So if you're not in a float tube or a kayak and you want to cast far, it's not going to happen with this. So she was able to get away with this because she's in that pontoon boat. But typically, if you're on shore, you're going to want to use one of these rattle bobbers or these weighted bobbers. Now I'll show you how she had this thing rigged up, and she just had it on a 30-second ball head. So what we do is determine what's the top and the bottom of the minnow. And the top always has these bumps, or I like to call them the scoots. And the bottom has a little rounded part, which to me indicates the fish's belly. So what I do, I want the point of the hook to come out through the spine. So I start at the nose, right where I think the spine would be, and slowly thread this tiny minnow on just till it starts going around the hook, the bend of the hook, and then I push the point through the back, trying to keep it as straight as possible, and scoot it up so it looks just like that. And that's all there is to it. All right, now, how did I get onto the trout? Well, first thing I had to do was find them. Silverwood is a very large lake for Southern California. It has multiple coves, very deep water, all kinds of structure, everything you can think of. Plus, there's a very large striped bass population, and striped bass get very big, and they feed on smaller rainbow trout. So the trout, wherever they're going to be, are going to be somewhere in close and shallow water, trying to get away from these striper. So where are the places you start to look? Well, just like I've said in other videos, there's intakes where there's fresh moving water, outtakes, which sometimes work, sometimes usually don't. The structure has to be just perfect. Flat areas, or drop-offs, and coves. Now in the Sierras, I did a video on how to find trout. There aren't a whole bunch of coves up there. A lot of the lakes just don't have coves by the way they were formed. But this lake, Silverwood, has lots of coves. And what do you have in coves? Shallow water, which is like a flat, and you usually have a lot of overgrown brush on the shore or sheer rock faces, but basically places where people or anglers on foot can't get to. So the trout will get deep into these coves because, one, they feel safe from the predatory fish like the stripers. They also feel safe from the birds trying to swoop down on them, because when they're in a cove with all the trees and everything, it's harder for these birds of prey to do anything to them. And thirdly, they feel safe from us. They don't notice any foot traffic. So what they'll do is they'll get in these shallow coves, and they'll just do circles in this cove, looking for food and kind of staying out of everybody's way, or staying under the radar, if you will. So what I did on this morning, I launched from the main ramp, and I started driving in my kayak, and I went to the first shallow areas I could find and the first coves I could find, and just started making casts. And I would start at the outside of the cove and slowly work my way deeper and deeper into the cove and see what I could get. Went to a first couple coves and didn't get any bites, so probably not a lot of fish there. Kept searching, kept working around, and I finally got to a cove where, like, first cast I got bit, and then second cast I got bit again, and then I hooked up. I knew there was fish there willing to eat, so I might as well pull up a chair for a little while, if you will, and keep fishing that area. And turns out it worked out well, and we got into a really, really good bite. So, one thing I tell lots of people is you're not so much, no matter what lake you're at, if you're fishing for trout, you're not so much fighting the trout or getting the trout to bite, you're fighting the water conditions. The trout are pretty much the same everywhere. They just act differently because of what water they're in. If there's predators after them, if there's different types of structure, if there's cold water coming in as opposed to warmer water, clarity, all those things. So if you really think about it, when you're going to these lakes, look around in the water. Is it clear? Is it murky? Is the water warm to the touch? Is there an inlet and outlet? Do you know there's predatory fish in the water? All those things go through kind of a mental checklist, and it'll help you guide you to more locations where you might have more success. And overall, if you follow those basic fundamentals, you'll be able to find more fish and catch more fish.
Oh, okay.
And she lived
Oh, right on. Yeah, I was born and raised in Anaheim, so I was always around those parts. There we go. Oh, that's good.
I don't know, he's just strong. I thought he was bigger than he was. Man.
Well, you don't mind if I take pictures?
Nah,
Videos with you?
I've been videoing you guys.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the log. And he's on a very busy
That's a good way to put it. Very irritated. 'Cause he's not that big, but he thinks he's big. Yeah. But he's good size, but
So I caught one
oh, damn it. Something like that. I've already lost count. I can barely get my hand around him.
You just kind of like not so hard set.
Yeah, you can pull it right out of their mouth. Yeah.
Gap down to a 32nd. Went slower. Yeah. That'd be funny. On that baby bluegill. Dang.
All right, ladies and gents, there you have it. Great day out at Silverwood. I love those Lawson trout. They really fight well. Just great looking fish. And I had a great time with Angel and Tamara from Tiny Pontoon Nation. Super great folks. I had an absolute blast fishing with them that day. And they could really fish. They were, especially Tamara with that fly bobber in the mini Spartan. She was cleaning house in the morning. It was, it was awesome. I even put on a bobber and a jig for a bit, but I couldn't get it to work. She was killing it on it, so I went back to a mini jig and got him that way. But like I said earlier, it's just a matter of finding the fish. So stick to the basics, read the water, and don't be afraid to move around and look around for them. And don't put yourself fishing in places where the trout probably aren't, like very deep water. Don't cast your bait and weights way out in the water unless you know it's real shallow out there, because typically it gets deeper and the trout just aren't going to be there whether there's predatory fish or not. So just some things to think about, and if you follow those basics, it really increases your odds of having a more successful trip. And with that, if you want any of the fine products I use on this channel, like the Golden State Fishing Custom Baits, the Water Lens sunglasses, the High Sea waders and boots, the TRUDAVE waders and boots, or the Katana rods, there's a QR code right up here. You click on that, it'll take you to a link tree, and it has links to all those places, including discount codes and exactly how to use them, with discounts of up to 15% off. They're really good products, or I would not use them on this channel. So go check them out and save yourself a little bit of money on some really good stuff. So if you like what you see here, give us a like, subscribe, and a share. It really helps me out, helps me gauge that I'm putting out good content for you. And if you didn't like what you saw here, I appreciate you standing by this long. Coming up, going out to the Sierras. This video will be out Monday. I'll already be up there. Me and Esty are going to be bumming around the Sierras. And I have something working, kind of a surprise that I'll reveal in the next couple videos. Really cool. I'm going to be using that out there along with the kayaks, and that video on the kayak is coming very soon. Lots of things in the works, some big trips we're planning in the future. So stick with us, and I'll get you all the content and probably more than you want. So hope to see you guys out there in tight lines.